talk about BO.
ఎక్కడ చేసినావురా ఇదే కదా మీకు అవసరం లేదు
Okay, now we'll see what kind of tools you have in BO to implement your BO. Okay, now anyway, let me start. There is a two websites for business objects. Number one is help.sap.com and number two is sdn.sap.com. In help.sap.com we can see all the applications there in SAP. Here when you see, we have a multiple applications, but ours is the business objects. I hope you know business objects is a separate company earlier. Now SAP acquired the BO. That's why BO is a part of your SAP now. It's a child company for SAP. So that's why now business objects, they renamed as SAP business objects. In earlier, BO have a separate site called as the www.businessobjects.com. Now that site is now acquired by the SAP. Now they collaborated with the SAP. Now that all the documents and all the materials, whatever you there in the business object site, that all they now integrated with the SAP site. Now all the documents you can see in SAP, you can see in SAP site. In SAP site, now we'll see that documents whatever there for business objects. Now see, when you go to help.sap.com, in the top you can see SAP business objects. When you click on SAP business objects, in the top left corner, you can see all products, analytic applications, enterprise performance management, business intelligence, enterprise information management. The reason why I am explaining this, many of them they'll explain in the interview, I learned BO. Don't tell I learned BO. If you talk about BO, BO is not technology. BO is the company name. BO have a lot of tools. You are going to learn BO tools, not business objects company. The many of them I observed, they will talk in the interview, they'll explain in the interview, I learned SAP. You are not learning SAP. You are learning tools there in SAP company. Either you are learning SAP BI or FICO or BODS, or maybe you are learning SAP basis. Same way in business objects also, BO is the company name and BO have a lot of tools. You are going to learn the tools there in business objects company. Again, when you talk about history of BO, BO is the 30 years old French company. BO is their in the market since 30 years. BO started their tools from starting version is 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.x, 6.x. Later, the latest releases, they started with BO Exile. The people call as a boxy. Don't call that as a boxy. It's a BO 11, R1, R2, R3, R4. The very latest version in the market is available in the market is BO 11 R4. I'm going to teach BO 11 R4 tool. BO 11 R4. One second now. Hello. Yes. చెప్పండి. కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేకపోయారా? కనెక్ట్ అయ్యారా? అక్కడ డౌన్లోడ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అని వస్తుందా మీకు? వచ్చిందా డౌన్లోడ్? గో టు మీటింగ్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవాలండి. హలో, మీరు యూఆర్ఎల్ టైప్ చేయగానే మీకు సిట్రిక్స్కి వెళ్ళారు కదా. హలో, గో టు మీటింగ్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవాలి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఒకటి. మీరు అది స్టార్ట్ చేయగానే అది అడుగుతుంది డౌన్లోడ్ గో టు మీటింగ్ అని. సిట్రిక్స్కి వస్తారు, అక్కడ డౌన్లోడ్ గో టు మీటింగ్ అని ఉంటుంది. ఇనిషియలైజ్ అయిపోద్ది. ఆ డౌన్లోడ్ అయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఒక ఐకాన్ వస్తుంది, గో టు మీటింగ్ ఐకాన్ మీ డెస్క్టాప్ మీద ఎక్కడో. ఐకాన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు అడుగుతుంది అది ఎంటర్ యువర్ మెయిల్ ఐడి అని. ఓకేనా, కొంచెం ట్రై. గ్లోబల్ మీటింగ్ సెట్ మీరు మీరు అది వచ్చిందా, ఐకాన్ వచ్చిందా? స్కైప్ లేదు. ఎస్, అదే కావాలి. గో టు మీటింగ్ వచ్చిందా? దాంట్లో ఏం అడుగుతుంది మీరు చెప్పండి. గో టు మీటింగ్లో ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ కొట్టండి. జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ కొట్టండి. జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ కొట్టారా? ఏమడుగుతుంది ఇప్పుడు? ఒక జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ కొడితే డౌన్లోడ్ ఉంటుంది. అది అవ్వలేదా? ఏమంటుంది జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ అంటే? టైం పడుతుంది. జాయిన్ మీటింగ్ అనగానే కొంచెం టైం తీసుకుంటుంది అది. అప్పుడు డౌన్లోడ్ స్టార్ట్ అవ్వడం, లేకపోతే ఎంటర్ మెయిల్ ఐడి అడుగుతుంది మీది. మీరు మెయిల్ ఐడి క్లిక్ ఆన్ ఓకే కొడితే లాగిన్ అయిపోతుంది, అంతే కదా. ఓకేనా, లాగిన్ అయిన తర్వాత మైక్ అండ్ స్పీకర్స్ అనే ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది, అది సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకేనా, చూడండి ఒక 2 minutes లో అయిపోద్ది, లేకపోతే చూద్దాం. ఓకేనండి. Okay. Now, see, the thing is, Business Objects is a 30 years old company, and BO have a multiple kind of tools. Our course is for BO have a 4 kind of tools in the real time. BO have a 4 kind of tools, and different tools they'll use for different kind of businesses. For example, when you talk about BO have a analytic applications that normally people call as GRC applications. The GRC applications is basically for to generate forecasting reports. For example, when you talk about the oil companies, oil and gas companies, they will invest lot of money to explore a crude from sea. How they will explore gas and oil? They will explore oil and gas from the big water places. Some sea in Arabic Sea and in Bangalakatam Sea. In somewhere, they'll spend a lot of money, they'll use missionaries, and they'll explore crude from the sea. Later they have a refineries, they'll take this crude into refineries. In the refineries they'll refine the crude and they'll make oil and gas, they'll release in the market. For that they'll spend a lot of money, and later they'll expect a profits on their money. That's why what they'll do, they'll come with us, they will ask us, boss, I'm going to spend 2 crore rupees in the sea, and later tomorrow I'm expecting 3 crores and 4 crores. In between there is a chance to get lot of what you call as this climate issues, and lot of lot of risks they can face. So that time they will ask us to create a report to mitigate the risk. For example, you are investing your money in the business, that means you are taking a risk. Later there is a chance to get lot of risks. Then they will ask us how I can mitigate the risk. That time, by using Business Objects tools, we can generate a forecasting report. That forecasting reports will will guess the future risks, and it will give a mitigations for the risks. For generating that kind of forecasting reports, and as well as scientific reporting, for generating scientific reports and forecasting reports in BO, there is a tool is called as the GRC. GRC is the reporting tool to generate forecast and scientific reports. For that, in BO company released a tool is called as the analytics applications. Analytic applications. And next one is enterprise performance management. In real time people called as EPM. Enterprise performance management. This tools is basically total. We talked about GRC. It is for generating forecasting reports. And the next one is EPM, enterprise performance management. This is for the company have a lot of businesses, The company, they'll take, for example, when you talk about ICICI, or when you talk about Accenture or IBM and SAP, they have a lot of tools. They'll give a tools for the customer, and they'll take a money in multiple ways. Either they can take a money with the checks, or sometimes company to company transfer, or sometimes they'll take with the bank to bank transfer, net banking, or sometimes they'll take with the vouchers, or sometimes they'll take with the cards. That means the company will get money from the customers in multiple ways. At the end of the day, the CEO of the company asks us to consolidate all the account statement, and they will ask us to generate a big account balance statement to check profit and loss statements. For that, in BO, there is a tool is called as the BPC, Business Objects Planning and Consolidation. It's a finance application to consolidate different accounts, and generate reports according to the client requirement. BPC is a planning application, Business Objects Planning and Consolidation. I hope you know the story of BPC. BPC, even it's not a business objects, it's from other company called as Outlooksoft. Recently, Business Objects acquired from Outlooksoft. Now, the BPC is part of your Business Objects. Anyway, SAP acquired your BO. That's why now BPC is there with SAP. The future replacements of FICO is BPC. Now people are using FIC, Finance and Consolidation, FICO in SAP. Now the SAP have a plan in future. They're going to replace FICO with the BPC. That is your EPM application. And the next one is EIM. People called as Enterprise Information Management, or somebody called as ETL, Extraction, Transformation, Loading. For this, in BO, have a tool is called as a BODI, and the latest name for BODI is BODS. BODS is combination of BODI plus quality services. This is basically why you need a BODI, why you need a BODS, the business objects data services is basically, before going and explaining this, I just want to take one scenario, one real-time example where you are going to use a BODI or BODS. For example, take any real-time example like your Dell, or take your Toshiba, or take your Sony, or take any kind of the electronics company which have a manufacturing in it and release products in the market, and the customers will buy in different ways. That product based company will take example for this. For example, when you talk about Dell have a manufacturing unit in the US, and they will manufacture their laptops, and they will release in the market. How they will release in the market? Multiple ways. They have outlets across the world. They have showrooms across the world, and they release their models in the showrooms. And people who are there around that showrooms, they'll go and buy their models. They'll select their models, and they'll book their laptops from the outlets. Once you went to the outlet, if you have selected one model 4040, then the guy who are there in outlet, they will open an application form. There they'll fill your name, your first name, your last name, your phone number, a mode of transactions, and book date and delivery date. Then they'll click a submit. They'll click on submit. When they click on submit, what it will do, it will create one record for you. That one record will be inserted in the backend table there in the website. That means you are doing transactions through online. That data is processed and loaded in the backend table. That table you call as a OLTP table, Online Transaction Processing Table. That means every day the Dell company will get orders across the world with the outlets, whatever they ordered in outlet, that will be processed. Means when they click submit, the detail will be loaded in the backend database, is called as a OLTP database. Online transaction processed data now is there in the table. That table is called as the OLTP table. And second method, you don't have a showroom around your place. That time what do? You just open the www.delllaptops.com, and you have a debit card or credit card or net banking or phone banking. Then there you can choose your model. You can click on buy, and then it will open application form. There you need to fill your first name, last name, your phone number, address, model number, mode of transactions, how much amount you paid from the net banking, and delivery date, delivery address, and then you need to click submit. When you click on submit, anyway, it will also go and sit in the next table, is called as the OLTP table. The reason is you are doing transaction through online. That data will be processed and loaded in the table. That table is called as a OLTP table. That means whatever the orders I got with the website, that will be there in other database. And the Dell have a lot of companies in across the world, lot of delivery centers. For example, you are working on Dell company. That time, even you need not to go to the showroom. Even you need not to open a website. You can comfortably buy. You can call a call center, Dell call center, and call center girl will pick up your phone, and she will ask your details. Based on your details, she will open a web application. There she will fill your data. There she will fill data. She will click on submit. There she will fill a data. They'll click submit. That will go and sit in the other database. That is other OLTP database. And that means now I have three databases to get my data. I have three databases. Now I have three databases to collect my orders. That means I gave an opportunity for the customer to book their laptops in three ways. One way with the outlet, second way with the telephonic, third way website. The lakhs of orders across the world I'll get with three sources, and I have that orders in the three databases. Later what I need to do is, there is a team called as the ETL team. The ETL team, what the ETL team will do, they will connect with the database source 1, data source 2, data source 3. Data source 1 in my meaning, whatever the data we got from outlets. Data source 2 is whatever the data I got from website. Data source 3 means whatever the data I got with the telephonic orders. That all what the ETL team will do, they'll connect with three data sources. They will extract all the orders. They will transform, and they will load into big database, is called as a data warehouse. ETL team will do extraction, transformation, and loading. They load into the big data warehouse. Later, as a report developer, what we need to do is, you need to connect that data warehouse, and you need to generate a report and convert the data into charts and tables according to the end user requirement, and present to the CEO of the Dell. That time the Dell owner can understand. Oh, today how many orders they got, and from where they got, and when they need to deliver. That all details they can see in the paper. That paper you call as a report. That report you generated, based on your report, they will take a decision. How they can take a decision, for example, today you got 2 lakhs from outlets, and 2.5 lakhs from website, and 50,000 orders from telephonic. Total you get a 5 lakhs orders. That 5 lakh orders, That 5 lakh orders anyway you put in the paper. That paper you submitted for CEO of the company. Oh, that time the CEO of the company can understand. Oh, today I got 5 lakhs orders. What about my capacity of manufacturing unit? Oh, my manufacturing unit can produce only 2.5 lakhs. But I got a good demand, 5 lakhs demand. But supply is 2.5 lakhs. How can I synchronize? That time what the CEO of the company will do, they will take a decision to satisfy these customers, and they will invest the money, and they will establish one more business unit to produce extra 2.5 lakhs products for the orders. That means customer, the CEO of the company will take a decision based on your based on based on your based on your no based on your orders there in the paper. So that paper will help them to take a decision. That's why the reporting tools people call as decision supporting tools. The ETL tool is basically, and when you take any company, Reliance or any other company there in the market, P&G, Unilever, what they will do, they have a manufacturing unit somewhere. They have a lot of outlets across the world. They are reaching the people multiple ways, and people will go and visit the outlets, and they will buy their goods, and at the end of the day they will go to the swiping machine. That swiping machine insert the records into the OLTP database. That means each branch they will maintain a database that will go and sit into the database. Once the orders will be recorded in the database, later what the ETL team will do, the ETL team will connect with all branch databases, and they will extract all data. They will load into big database. That big database we call as a data warehouse. Now all the orders you can see in the big database. Later we can connect with that big database, and we can generate a report to submit for the customer. The ETL team will build a data warehouse. Once they build a data warehouse, later we'll connect and we'll generate a reports. The role and responsibility of ETL is to extract, transform and load. If there is no ETL, that time as a report developer, what you need to do is you need to write a one query for source 1, second query for source 2, third query for source 3. Later you need to take all data and you need to consolidate, and you need to put in one paper. That will decrease the performance of your report. For increasing the performance of your report, you just need to request a ETL team to take data from different data sources and integrate into big database. That big database you call as a data warehouse. Later from our side, what we'll do is we'll connect that big database and we'll generate a report. That time one query for one report, it will improve the performance. Indirectly, ETL team is there to work with us, to work for us. There's a way will improve the performance of the reports. That means before our reporting, there is a one more layer. Before creating our reports, before creating our reports, there is a one more team in the before us is ETL. The ETL team work is to collect orders across the world and to extract all orders there in the outlets and put in the big database. Later we'll take the database as a source and we'll generate and present that data for the customer. That is our report. Okay. The ETL team work is extraction, transformation and loading. That we can do with the BODS. How the business intelligent model they'll implement in the real time, if you want to establish a business, first you need to decide where you need to establish your manufacturing unit. Later you need to decide and how you reach the customer to market your goods. If you want to reach the customer, you need to follow multiple ways. Either create a website and display your models in the website. People across the world access your website through internet and they'll book your goods. Second,